Hi everyone, quick update on the scenario of your research within Natixis CIB. I see three main changes to the scenario these days. The first thing we are looking at is geopolitics. We see now that Donald Trump is going to be the candidate for the Republican Party in the US with some chances to be elected comes November. And if elected, I see 2 points of interest. First thing first is probably regarding the trade war. If Trump is going to be the next president, we'll see some tariff coming. He's talking about 10% for global tariff for any given importation. And now he's talking about 60% of tariffs for Chinese goods, which is going to make the situation of the world trade more complicated. And we are going to see an acceleration of the reshuffling of the supply chain worldwide. The second thing that Trump might be doing if elected is regarding probably NATO. So of utmost importance for Ukraine, I would say is that probably Europe is going to be on its own. And we see that on the ground, Ukraine is struggling these days for lack of ammunition. The second point I think is changing these days is probably the resiliency of the US economy. It's ending up last year with more than 3% GDP growth. So the Fed pricing by the market, now the market expects less than 3 rate cuts by the Fed. So the pricing of the market has changed dramatically. We stick to our view that more than that is going to come from the Fed, probably 150 basis points starting in May. And the third and last point I think is quite interesting these days is the commercial real estate crisis. It started in the US and we see some spillover effects in Europe, especially in Germany with some regional banks a bit struggling these days. Once again, if we zoom out on that, it makes probably the ECB more willing to cut rates, which is still our scenario for next June.